I think that there are four things that I take away from Lincoln. Number one, the coalition and people who believe in the connection between school and community must continue to argue for a developmental framework for growing our young people and helping them academically, socially, and emotionally. I thought that Marge Kostelnik's framework for articulating what happens to our young people when schooling is narrowed and is solely academic and is not engaging and is not active and is not participatory was a clear argument for a broader approach to the way we educate our kids, and it underscored the importance of the whole notion of engagement. Our colleague Ronel Sotelo at the Stewart Foundation says that engagement precedes achievement. Parents engage their children when they put them on their laps and they read them a book. Kids engage with each other when they get into play groups. They need to be engaged with each other as problem solvers and as learners and as workers. Learning is work. And if we treat it as though you're only a kind of like a robot, we're going to feed you what you need to know and then you'll do it, we won't grow the kind of young people we need. And I think that was one theme that's really important. The second theme I take away from Lincoln is something we've talked about often, and that is how important leadership is. I'm very pleased that we gave back to our friends in Lincoln the opportunity to bring together key leaders to publicly speak to others and to their local citizens who were attending about the importance of their community learning centers initiative, of their community schools initiative. Because I think that leadership is crucial to this, absolutely crucial. If we're going to make this something that happens in lots of schools, we need our mayors, our school superintendents, our foundation people, our newspaper people, our business leaders, our faith leaders, to really be behind this. And I think that that's a theme that we have to continue to underscore, the importance of those leaders coming together, working together, and trying to improve the lives of their kids. A third notion, the importance of what happens in schools, because that's where kids get the support and the opportunity. That's where families are engaged. Not just in the school, because we need networks and relationships with other organizations and other institutions. The coalition has never felt that everything had to be at the school, but we've got to have enough of a critical mass of action at the school so we change the climate, the culture, the expectations of the school about the children and the families and the community in which they're working. And so I was struck at Leanne Johnson's comments in her concluding remarks about the importance of the site coordinators, the people who bridge the school and the community, who help to coordinate and run after school, GED, ESL, family engagement, organized school neighborhood advisory committees. We've got to do a better job of developing those people, of giving them the kind of wages that will sustain them in these roles, because without that bridge, the kind of work we want to do, the kind of community engagement with public schools, the kind of family involvement in public schools that we think is so essential, really won't happen. And then the last point that I would make is that my staff often says that people who come to these meetings are all really nice people. You go to some organizations and some meetings and you find a crowd that's a little cranky and whiny and so forth. The people who come to community schools meetings have a passion for children that needs to find its way into all of our institutions. They bring the common sense that comes from working with real kids on a regular basis. Surely we need research that tells us what works and what doesn't. But ultimately, it's human beings who have to interact with children, with families, and with others, and make things happen. And so I'm always reminded of that when I find this passionate, caring group of adults who understand that children have to succeed academically, but that succeeding academically requires that they succeed socially and emotionally in other ways. And as the Secretary of Education has said, that they have opportunities for enrichment, arts and debate and drama and culture and athletics and other opportunities that really lift them up, and opportunities to be active learners. So I was very pleased with what we did here in Lincoln. I'm looking forward to seeing Seattle and Salt Lake and Flint and Moline and Alexandria in our meeting in Philadelphia, because I think we're beginning to build a larger and larger network and larger constituency that has behind a very simple proposition, and that is that families and communities matter in the education of our kids, and we've got to purposefully bring them together.